On the northern edge of the Great Plains, amid snowy landscapes, windy landscapes, and vast skies, Canadian farmers are cultivating one of the wildest animals on Earth and turning it into a multi-million-dollar industry. Here, bison are more than just meat. They are a living symbol of the ancient frontier, now at the center of a new question for modern agriculture. Can we produce high-value meat on a large scale without destroying the animal's wild nature? Each winter, herds of bison trek through deep snowfalls and temperatures that can drop below -40 degrees Fahrenheit, -4 degrees Celsius. In the summer, they move across the open prairies, grazing on the native grasses that have sustained wild herds for thousands of years. From these harsh conditions, a premium product was born: lean, dark red meat with a rich, pure flavor that is now appearing on high-end menus across the United States, often selling for 2 to 3 times the price of regular beef. This is not a world of pastures and cramped barns. There are no concrete floors, no rows of cattle standing close together. Instead, Canadian ranchers are experimenting with something much more rigorous. They are raising in harmony with nature. They allow bison to live in semi-wild herds, following their instincts, and then rely on planning, science, and ethical processing to transform that natural force into one of the most sought-after meats on the North American market. In this video, we'll follow that journey step by step, from natural pastures to low-stress harvesting to modern processing plants where every part of the animal is tracked and used. You'll see how land, animals, and people are connected in a system that looks more like a partnership with the prairie itself than a factory. So, let's start with you. What kind of farming would you like to see more of in the future? Comment 1 if you believe we should farm in harmony with nature. Comment 0 if you think strict control is the only way. And don't forget to subscribe so you can follow the entire story of this Canadian bison, from pasture to table and beyond. Across the Canadian prairie, bison are managed in a way that looks much closer to wildlife than to traditional livestock. Herds move across large pastures, following the weather, the grass, and their own instincts. Ranchers build their entire system around one idea: keep the animals as natural as possible. A full-grown bull can reach well over 1,500 pounds, yet it still thrives in long, harsh winters. When snow covers the ground, bison use their powerful heads and shoulders to sweep it aside and reach the grass underneath. Thick coats and a strong frame allow them to handle cold that would be extreme for most domestic cattle. Instead of protecting the animals with barns and heaters, ranchers rely on what the bison were built for: life outdoors. Their diet is simple and consistent, mostly perennial grasses and other native forage. A single adult can eat dozens of pounds of grass a day, turning nothing more than sunlight, soil, and water into muscle. As they move, their hooves break up the surface of the ground and press seeds into the soil. Over time, this kind of grazing can help maintain healthy grasslands when it is managed carefully. Because the herds are semi-wild, direct human contact is limited. There are no daily walks through a feedlot, no constant sorting or pushing animals through narrow alleys. Most of the time, ranchers observe from a distance and make decisions about when to rotate pastures or check on water and minerals. Handling is reserved for key moments in the year, such as health checks or moving animals between ranges. Bison are allowed to form their own social structure and move as a group, which reduces fighting and nervous behavior. At the same time, planned rotation between pastures helps prevent overgrazing and gives grass time to recover. The result is a system where the landscape and the herds support each other, and where meat production grows out of a functioning prairie instead of replacing it. From here, the next challenge begins. How do you monitor and protect such independent animals without disturbing them? In Canada, the answer increasingly involves modern technology layered on top of this traditional open-range lifestyle, and that is where our story goes next. Raising bison on open prairie means ranchers can't manage them the way they do cattle. The animals move constantly, avoid close contact, and often spread across large pastures. To keep herds healthy without pushing or crowding them, Canadian operations use technology mainly to observe, not to control. Drones are one of the key tools. With a short flight, Ranchers can see where the herd is, how the grass looks, and whether water sources or fences need attention. Instead of driving through every field or trying to bring animals closer, they watch quietly from above. That reduces labor and avoids unnecessary pressure on the herd. On some ranches, a few animals wear GPS collars. These don't track every step of every bison, but they show general movement patterns, which areas are grazed most, when herds shift to new ground, and whether they're spending too long in one place. This information helps plan pasture rotation so that grass has time to recover. Because bison are sensitive to handling, much of the health monitoring happens at a distance. Ranchers rely on regular visual checks from roads and fence lines, sometimes supported by camera footage, to spot animals that are limping, isolated, or behaving unusually. When hands-on work is needed, it's scheduled and prepared in advance to keep stress as low as possible. Basic infrastructure is also supported by simple monitoring systems. Water points and mineral stations are checked frequently, and any problem with flow, ice, or access can be spotted early. These locations naturally attract the herd, giving ranchers another chance to see animals without driving them into tight spaces. The aim of all this technology is straightforward. Give bison the room to live naturally, while still knowing enough about their movements and condition to care for them responsibly. Once ranchers have that picture where the herd is, how it's using the land, and whether it's in good shape, they can move on to one of the most sensitive stages of the entire system, bringing animals in for harvest with as little stress as possible. Harvesting bison requires methods designed around the animal's natural instincts. They are powerful, alert, and easily stressed by close contact, so Canadian ranchers plan handling days carefully. The goal is simple: move the herd calmly and safely, without forcing them into situations that trigger panic. Gathering starts by guiding bison from large pastures toward handling pens built specifically for them. Ranchers apply light pressure from a distance, allowing the herd to walk at a steady pace. Wide gates and solid fencing prevent distractions and help the animals stay focused on moving forward. The priority is quiet, predictable motion, not speed. Once inside the handling area, smaller groups enter a corral system designed with gentle curves and open angles. Because they tend to follow the animal ahead, curved lanes prevent sudden stops and reduce stress. The system minimizes tight turns and avoids narrow spaces that might cause animals to hesitate or push back. At the federally inspected processing plant, the next step is humane stunning. Canadian regulations require that the animal lose consciousness immediately before any further action. Trained staff carry out stunning with precision to ensure the process is quick and effective. This prevents pain and reduces fear, meeting strict national welfare standards. Inside a federally inspected Canadian processing plant, the focus shifts from open prairie to a controlled workspace built for safety and precision. Because bison are larger and more muscular than cattle, processing is done at a measured pace, relying heavily on skilled workers rather than high-speed automation. Once the animal is unconscious and prepared for processing, the carcass is moved into a cooled room where temperatures are carefully maintained. Controlled chilling protects texture, slows bacterial growth, and prepares the meat for accurate cutting. This stage is essential because bison meat is naturally lean and sensitive to temperature changes. After chilling, experienced butchers break the carcass into major sections. The process follows the same general structure used for beef, but the heavier forequarters and dense muscles of bison mean that workers depend on practiced cuts, not machines. Using knives and saws, they separate the shoulder, rib, loin, and hindquarter with attention to consistency and yield. From these large sections, meat is trimmed and portioned into steaks, roasts, ribs, and ground products. Because bison contains less fat, trimming is careful and controlled. The goal is to remove connective tissue and rough edges while preserving as much clean muscle as possible. This craftsmanship is one reason bison plants operate at moderate speeds. The emphasis is on quality, not volume. Tools are sanitized regularly, surfaces are cleaned on schedule, and plant staff follow protective clothing and hygiene rules required under federal inspection. Each batch of meat is documented so it can be traced back to the plant, the date, and the processing line. Once portioned, cuts are vacuum sealed to maintain freshness and extend shelf life. Labels include weight, lot numbers, and inspection marks. Most products are shipped chilled to nearby markets, while others are frozen for broader distribution. Overall, the workflow inside a bison processing facility reflects the same values seen on the prairie: steady movement, respect for the animal, and careful handling from start to finish. The final product is meat that carries the character of the open range, but is shaped with modern food safety standards and skilled labor. From the open prairies to the processing plant, Canada's bison industry follows one steady principle: work with the animal's nature instead of reshaping it. Every stage, ranching, gathering, and processing, reflects the same idea that bison are not meant to be handled like cattle. They live best in wide spaces, moving with instinct, and ranchers build their systems around that reality. This approach strengthens more than the herd. Healthy grasslands depend on natural grazing and long rest periods, and bison fit perfectly into that cycle. Their movement helps maintain plant growth, supports soil structure, and keeps prairie ecosystems active. By managing land carefully and avoiding overuse, ranchers protect both their herds and the environment that sustains them. Economically, bison has become a meaningful niche in Canadian agriculture. Consumers increasingly look for meat that is lean, naturally raised, and traceable. Because bison production focuses on quality instead of volume, the final product reflects the land it comes from and the care put into raising it. This model allows ranchers to remain competitive while maintaining high welfare standards. What makes the industry unique is how each part supports the others. Open-range management keeps animals calm and healthy. Thoughtful gathering reduces stress. Skilled processing maintains the integrity of the meat. Together, they form a system built on respect for the animal and responsible use of the land. For many ranchers, bison symbolize resilience and a connection to the prairie's past. Working with them requires patience, planning, and a willingness to adapt to nature rather than dominate it. That philosophy is what gives the industry its identity and guides decisions about land, herds, and long-term production. As demand grows, the future of Canadian bison ranching will depend on protecting that balance, raising animals in a way that honors their instincts while providing a sustainable source of food. If ranchers continue to follow this path, bison will remain both an ecological asset and a valuable agricultural resource. Ultimately, the story of Canada's bison is a reminder that agriculture can respect the wild and still thrive. It shows how people and landscapes can succeed together when each is given the space to do what it does best.